Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Dear students, hope you all are well. I am your assistant teacher for class 5 from IBI school. Kindly check your speaker that you are hearing me properly and listen my instructions carefully. Keep your textbook along with you to note down important points. If you have questions, you can ask me at the end of the class by raising hands. Today our topic is longitude and latitude, and I'm going to share the slide. You can take screenshot these. And next is the content of the book. These are of your book pages, and that is given in book page number 30 and 31. Now, the definition of the globe. I'm going to elaborate you the definition of the globe. A globe is a picture of a planet drawn on a sphere. It is like a scale model of the planet. The word globe comes from the Latin word globus, meaning round mass or sphere. Most globes are maps of the earth. Now, explanation of the globe is a globe is a three-dimensional scale. The meaning of the three-dimensional scale is we have seen from three sides of this model of the earth. Actually, globe is a model of the earth as we see in our libraries, and also I mostly show in the class model of the earth. On globe there are blue and brown color showing the blue area, seas and oceans, and the brown area is the dry place, land. A globe is a spherical model of Earth of some other celestial body, and belonging to the meaning of the celestial is belonging to the aerial regions or visible heavens. Body or of the celestial sphere globes serve purposes similar to some map, but unlike maps, don't distort. The meaning of the distort is to twist of natural or regular shape the surface that they portray except to scale it down. A model globe of Earth is called terrestrial globe. A globe of the celestial sphere is called a celestial globe. The word globe comes from the Latin word as we have shared globus meaning sphere. Globes have a long history. The first known mention of a globe of Crete globe is from Strabo describing the globe of Crete from about 150 BC. The meaning of BC complete form is BC is before Christ. The oldest surviving terrestrial globe is Adapted Fall wrought by Martin Beam in 1492. The oldest surviving celestial globe sits atop the Furnace Atlas curved in 2nd century Roman Empire. Now, I'm going to share you another definition, that is atlas. An atlas is a collection of maps. It is typically a bundle of maps of Earth or a region of Earth. In addition to presenting geographic features and political boundaries. Now, I'm going to further. An atlas is a collection of maps. It is typically a bundle of maps of Earth or region of Earth. Atlases have traditionally been bound into the book form, but today many atlases are in multimedia format in addition to presenting geographic feature and political boundaries. Many atlases often features geopolitical, social, religious, and economic statics. They also have information about the map, places in it. Now, I'm going to explain you. In short, an atlas is a book of collections of maps and tells us about the locations of places, of countries, physical features and climate map, etc. Now you can easily find out the differentiate between them, the globe and the atlas. The globe is the model of the earth and the atlas is the collection of the books of maps. Now, I am going to explain you about the topic of longitude. Longitude. This is the another one slide that is showing on your screen. There is an imaginary lines on the globe traveling from north to south are called lines of longitude. There are 360 lines in numbers. This is the definition in short, but further I'm going to elaborate you in detail. Students, the longitude lines are imaginative lines that are traveling from north to south. Longitude lines are vertical lines. Remind this thing, keep in your mind, longitude lines are the vertical lines and 360 in numbers on the globe. The lines of longitude are also called meridians, and latitude lines that goes east to west are called parallels. Do you know the meaning of the parallels? The meaning of the parallels is running side by side. From these lines, we can easily find the places on the globe. The prime meridian represents 0 degree of latitude. It is the center point that is called a prime meridian. It serves as the starting point for measuring longitude. Longitude is the angular distance of a place east or west of the meridian at Greenwich, England. A longitude of 0 degree means is directly north or south of Greenwich. Do you know what is Greenwich? Greenwich is located in England and a longitude of 180 degrees. West means halfway around world from Greenwich. When measure east to west in ignoring north to south with these numbers, any point on the Earth's surface can be located. Lines of longitude join at the poles and are part at the equator. The distance between any pair of line, mark in your mind, I'm going to repeat again this word, the distance of between any pair of line is equivalent to 1 degree of 1 degree. Hope you understand the longitude. Now I'm going to explain you latitude. Now I'm going to explain you latitude. That is the another one topic, latitude. The lines which travel from east to west of the globe are called the lines of latitude. These lines are horizontal. Keep in your mind, as we have discussed in the topic of longitude, those lines are vertical. But in the topic of the latitude, these lines are the horizontal. These are also called parallels. The meaning of parallels is running side by side of latitude. There are 180 lines of latitude. The equator serves as the starting point for the latitude. Equator is the center point. And in the topic of the longitude, which is the center point, prime meridian. And in the topic of the latitude, which is the center point, that is latitude equator. This imaginary lines is located halfway between the north and the south pole. The equator represents 0 degree. These are parallel to each other, lines of latitude, and intersect. What is the meaning of the intersect? To cut into one another and to cross. I'm repeating again the meaning of the intersect, to cut into one another and cross. Lines of longitude at the right angles. Do you know the meaning of the right angles? What is the right angle? Right angle is 90-degree angle. The lines of latitude make circle around the globe. The longest is formed by the equator. The distance between one circle to the next is equivalent to 1 degree. As we have discussed in the topic of longitude, the distance of the each line is 1 degree. And in the topic of latitude, the distance of the each circle is 1 degree. These imaginary lines help us to find out the location of a place on the map. With the help of these lines, we can know where all cities, rivers, deserts, towns, and villages are located on the map. Now, we are going to move another topic, that is prime meridian. The prime meridian represents 0 degree of longitude. It serves as the starting point for measuring longitude. As we have seen, I'm showing the cursor, showing the arrow in between, that is 0 degree. That is the center point of prime meridian. So the prime meridian represents 0 degree. It serves as a starting point for measuring longitude. A planet's meridians adopted as the zero of longitude. A prime meridian is the meridian, a line of longitude, is a geographic coordinate system at which longitude is defined to be 0 degree. If one uses directions of east and west from a defined prime meridian, then they can be called the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Greenwich is a place of England. At, it passes through Greenwich, England, the site of the Royal Observatory, the prime meridian together with its opposite meridian having a longitude of 1 degree divide Earth roughly. In the eastern and the western hemisphere, with those portion of British Isles, Europe and Africa that lie west of the prime meridian, considered for practical purposes as belonging to eastern hemisphere. So now I'm going to tell you another topic, going to elaborate you another topic, that is equator. Equator, I'm going to show you the slide. The meaning, the equator serves as the equator represents 0 degree of latitude. It serves as the starting point for measuring latitude. The equator. Now, further, I am going to explain you. The equator represents 0 degree of latitude. The equator is defined as an imaginary line draw on the earth, draw on the earth, and spaced equally between the north and the south pole. The equator is important as a reference point for navigation. What is the meaning of the navigation? What is the meaning of the navigation? The act of navigation, the act of passing on water in ships and geographic. I'm repeating again, the meaning of the navigation is the act of navigating, the act of passing on water in ships. It's an equal halves and it forms the halfway point between the South Pole and the North Pole at 0 degrees latitude. The equator passes through, this is the further and extended information which I am going to share you. The equator passes through in 13 countries. Some of countries' name I'm going to share you. Colombia. First is Colombia, Brazil, Gabon, Republic of Congo, Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, Maldives, Indonesia, and many other countries. So, first of all, I'm going to, before going another topic, I just want to share all the things which I have to teach you, taught you up till now. First topic is globe. We have shared. Globe is the model of the Earth, and it has three dimensions, which we have seen from the three sides. We have discussed this thing, and another topic is Atlas. Atlas is a collection of the Atlas is the collection of the books and the bundle of the maps and different type of the maps like physical maps, political maps, and some other maps included in atlases. And next topic is longitude. Longitude in the topic of longitude is to student we have discussed so many things. First of all, we have shared the lines of the longitude. There are the 360 lines in numbers on the globe, and the most important things, the central point in longitude is prime meridian, and it represent the 0 degree of latitude. Now the next is latitude. The lines travel from east to west. The globe are called the lines of latitude. And mark in your mind, as we have shared, mark in your mind, the longitude lines are the vertical and the latitude lines are the horizontal. And these lines are 180 in the numbers. And these lines are traveling from east to west. And the center point of the in latitude is equator. Now, the next topic is prime meridian. The prime meridian represents the 0 degree. It serves as starting point of measuring longitude or planning meridian. As we have discussed, the prime meridian and equator. What about the equator? The equator serves as the starting point for measuring latitude. We have already discussed all the things. Now move further. That is the differentiate between the longitude and latitude. Differentiate between the longitude and latitude. There are the different, so many differences, but I am highlighting some points. Differentiate of longitude and latitude. There are 360 lines of longitude on a globe. The lines of longitude are called meridians. The longitude is measured in degree east or west. There are imaginative vertical lines. The lines which travel from east to west on the globe are called lines of latitude. There are 180 lines of latitude. Lines of latitude intersect lines of longitude, right angle. These imaginative lines are horizontal. Now, I'm going to explain you line wise. There are 360 lines, as we have discussed in the topic of the longitude. In the numbers, they have the 360 lines on the globe. And what is the meridian? The lines of the longitude, each line is called the meridian, and the distance of the each line is equivalent to the 1 degree. Longitude is measured in degree east or west. We have already discussed there are imaginative lines, and these lines, longitude lines, are called the vertical lines. The lines which travel from east to west on the globe are lines of the latitude. East to west, there are 180 lines. How many lines in the latitude? 180. But in the longitude, there are the 360 lines. Lines of latitude intersect. We have already shared the meaning of the intersect, to cut or to cross. The lines, the longitude at the right angle, and they are making the right angle. And right angle stand of 90 degree. These imaginative lines are horizontal. Okay? So, blue. globe which we have already discussed about. It is the three-dimensional scale and it is the model of the earth. And second is atlas. Atlas is a collection of books of maps, different type of maps like political, physical, and the other maps that we have uh, discussed in atlas book. And third is longitude. Longitude lines are traveling from north to south, and these lines are 360 in numbers. And these lines are parallels. I have already shared about the parallel lines, which they are running side by side, and the prime meridian represents the 0 degree. Now, now, longitude is the angular distance of a place east west of the meridian, east West Greenwich, England. Next is latitude. The lines which travel from east to west of the globe are called the lines of latitude. Mark in your mind, longitude lines are vertical and latitude lines are the horizontal lines, and these lines are 180 in numbers. So this is the sum up of the top all of your video. So now I'm going to share you the homework. Before I'm going to share you home tasks. This is your home tasks. Now this is the time of your home tasks. Kindly listen me carefully and after that you just follow my instruction. First is define atlas and globe. The slide which I have already shared with you, you can take the screenshot of globe and atlas. Those are the definitions of the globe and atlas. And I'm going to elaborate you again. That is, a globe is a three-dimensional scale of model of the earth. Actually, globe is a model of earth. As we see in our libraries, and also I mostly show you in class, the model of earth. On globe, there are blue and brown colors showing the blue area shows seas and ocean, and the brown area is dry places. The globe is a spherical model of the earth, some other celestial body belonging to the aerial regions or the visible heavens. Okay, this is the definition of globe. Now, second is atlas. An atlas is a collection of maps. It is typically a bundle of maps of Earth, of the region of Earth. Atlases have traditionally been bound in the book form, but today many atlases in multimedia formats in addition to presenting geographic feature and political boundaries. In short, the definition of atlas is an atlas is a book of collection of maps and tells us about the location and places of the country's physical feature and climate map, etc. Collection of map as the right difference of longitude and latitude. Now, second question is already mentioned in your slide. Complete your textbook exercise page number 32. Define prime meridian and equator, which I have already shared in the slides, which I have discussed about the topic of prime meridian and equator. You can take the screenshot from that. So, Allah Hafiz and do your work properly.